Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's live. We just had the release yesterday, so a bunch of new stuff to talk about. As always, throw your questions in the YouTube live feed, and we will bring them up as we see them, and keep it farmer friendly. Anyways, let's bring up Luke.
Hey everybody, happy to be here. No, it's been a fun week the last week. Also pretty crazy in the back end. We actually might touch in, go over like what's been going on behind the scenes of Pixels. But yeah, no, why don't we talk about the update? Heidi, do you mind sharing a bit about like what we just released and kind of go over that just for people who maybe missed the tweets and stuff like that?
For sure. So I'm always very partial to the like kind of holiday themed events that we throw. I might push the team really hard on doing those. So we just did the Easter quest, which was really fun. That was designed by some of the designers on our team, including Tyler, who you guys see all the time, and Ben, who you've seen a couple times and is definitely a character and create some crazy ideas for the game. Like, I'm so excited for you guys to see Pets because it's truly like his brainchild. But anyways, yeah, that one's fun. It's a little bit weird and complicated, the quest. You don't really know why Steven and Todd won't accept the eggs that you collected, but there is a little Easter egg in the release video, which is also a pun, and I thoroughly enjoy saying. But if you're getting really confused about why Todd isn't accepting your eggs or Steven, go and watch the video and see if you can figure it out. But anyways, we also have the little Easter bunny head that I was really excited about releasing. On top of that, we integrated Steam, which is really fun, like a social platform for Web3. It's kind of like MySpace vibes. If you haven't noticed that yet, click on other players in the game and you can see their Steam tab, and it has a bunch of stuff about them, including like the NFTs that they hold, and you can customize your Steam profile. So that one's really fun. And oh my goodness, what else was there?
Oh, we added delegate.cash support people event. That's a big one, honestly. So this is like something kind of like silently pushed, but we're really excited about that because essentially it allows you to, delegate like a cold wallet or a different wallet to your hot wallet, and you can actually use, some of the NFTs that are in a cold wallet in game now without having to connect your cold wallet directly.
That's a really good one. Okay, I just pulled up the release notes because I'm just blanking here. Yeah, so we updated the art in Terravilla. Tyler actually, love showing you, telling you a bit about like how this evolves behind the scenes because it's really fun and interesting. But Tyler just one day removed the fountain and threw in the road through the map. And we were all just totally on board. And so then we went in, refined it, and I tried to figure out how to like incorporate the fountain with the new tiles, and we kind of made that little pixelated effect, which is really fun. And it just looks so much more polished, and it seems to be really well received. You guys are all in agreement with us that it's really cool. And another reason we wanted to do that too is because the road is kind of an integral theme in the game, and new players don't really know where it is or what it is, right? So we wanted to make it very clear and obvious. So that one's really fun addition. We changed the trash can art because we've had a few players just throw things out thinking it's a storage chest and then lose a bunch of items, and that's really not fun. So we threw in a very generic looking trash can, which some people were mad about because they were like, the feng shui of my garden is off now with this ugly can, but we think it's a good choice in the long run. We updated the VIP lounge. So it is no longer a VIP lounge. It's actually a VIP pool in the hotel, which is fun. It's kind of similar to the sauna, but totally different. There's like a water slide, which someone pointed out looks like oh, I'm so bad with car stuff, but like a piece of like a car exhaust pipe. And I was like, hilarious. Yeah, you. But anyways, a little pool in there. We opened up mayor voting. So what we did was we took the nominations and looked at the top nominated people, and then we had like tons of other variables that we looked at, and the top 5 people from that algorithm are now candidates for the mayor. So you can go into City Hall and vote for your mayor, and those changes that are chosen by the mayor will be implemented in the next release, which should be in roughly 2 weeks. And then they'll last for 4 weeks. So we work on a sprint system every 2 weeks. So it's just kind of like the mayor will last for 2 sprints, which is roughly 4 weeks. So that one's really fun. We updated the sound effects. A lot of the stuff that came out was honestly Tyler, like huge shout out to Tyler. He was like, we need to update the bird sounds. They bug me. And he went in and he did it. And it's so much better. We also have a whole feature of you can like turn on and off the music and the effects, which is really, really cool. If you go to the settings, it's no longer just sound on and off. You have a bunch of different features in there. So I just feel like this release was some cool new features like seam and like profile stuff, but also tons of polish, which is really important to how you're experiencing the game, of course, right? So, yeah,
It's funny because like I thought this was going to be a small release, and it honestly is with the stuff that we have coming up. This is just like a tiny piece of like some of the stuff that we're working on over the next like 2 months, and the next 2 months are gonna be busy here. I can't wait. So I guess we can kind of go into like what this update's setting up. Like for example, changes to the road. Like this is kind of going to be the start of new updates and improvements to our user onboarding flow and our first user experience, which we're going to start prioritizing. You know, we have this game. The long tail retention is pretty good. Like I can give you some numbers on it. Like for example, our day one retention right now, we're sitting at like 33%. Day 7 retention's at like 27%, if that means anything to you. And our day 28 retention is like 3.5%. So numbers, but essentially what that means is our game is sitting at industry standard benchmarks of retention of like good gameplay, especially in the long tail day 28. And that has a super solid base. So now we want to go back and kind of re-optimize the first player experience as we plan to, scale up our distribution, scale up our user base, and, move on to the next stages of Pixels. So it's going to be really important before we grow to make sure that we have, one more go at making sure that first user experience is really good, that people actually know what to do when they get in the game, that they don't have to go and look up on YouTube how to play the game, things like that. You guys have been an amazing audience because you guys are, very willing to deal with bad UX, and we really appreciate it. But we can't expect the next wave of users to have to go and look up on YouTube how to play the game, and we know that. So that's going to be a big priority moving forward before we start to, as we move on to the next stages. Two, what we're setting up with some of this stuff is you can expect Berry Withdraw. I think we're committing to it next update. We have it live in production today, I think, to a specific set of users. We're going to do some sanity testing with our current user base, and I think like farmhands and things like that as well, so that we make sure that it's bug free, but it feels pretty good. So I think we're ready to move on that. Super excited for that. Big sigh of relief. 2, 3. Well, we'll go into that. 3 actually after 4. We have pets and stuff coming up. Team has been making really awesome progress on that. And it's tied into the Pixel token. So it's going to kind of revolve around when we release the Pixel token, which is soon. Now that we have Berry that's going live, the team can kind of take a deep breath and then, do all the facilitation around that. We have a TGE event coming up soon. We're going to give more information on like when that exact date is. It depends on like private sale, all of those stages as well. But that's getting worked on in the back end right now. There's tons of stuff moving with that. We feel really supported around it. We're very lucky to have the support around the Pixel token that we have. So we're very, very thankful for you guys as well. It seems like there's a lot of excitement about the Pixel token. We're going to start to do some fun growth hacking for that pretty soon. I have a few fun ideas for potential, growth hacks and marketing things that we can do. Like for example, I don't know if I should talk about this. I don't know if I should talk about this or just like release it. But we're gonna lean a bit more into like memes and stuff like that, essentially, as we hype up the Pixel token and as we're getting ready for that generation, for the airdrop, for all of the stuff around that. So again, we had to have the space of the Berry token set first. And again, us releasing this Berry token and taking our time with the Pixel token has benefited the Pixel token tremendously because we have so much better data on what's going to work with Pixel now that we have Berry out. And we have all the like tooling and dev infrastructure ready for Pixel as well. That works the exact same way as Berry does. So essentially, like, God forbid, if there's some issue with Berry withdraw and deposit that doesn't affect Pixel, we can clean up any bugs, all of that too. So there's benefits to doing it in stages as well. That makes this ecosystem much better, much stronger. And yeah, we're feeling much much more secure around that. So yeah, in the next update, it's gonna be big. Expect Berry withdrawal and deposit. Expect some other stuff too. Let's just dive into it. Oh, marketplace looks like it might release as well too. So we're gonna have an in-game marketplace. We're gonna be able to trade items and like list them and things like that. So you don't have to sit in the Discord to do it. It might not be in the auction house. We're coming up with something that's a bit more fun and on theme. With
It's
that,
not this either. Sorry, just to bring this up. It's not. That's something really, really cool and exciting that's coming. So
nice. So yeah, there's stuff around that. And then oh, we have a few things that we can do for landowners as well that we've been thinking about. Which all I'm gonna say is expect some landowner exclusive features to come out, likely the next release, which we're pretty excited about. Oh, and I think NFT rentals might be ready by then as well. So yeah, expect a few interesting things in the next release. Expect Berry withdraw and deposit. Finally. NFT rentals might be shipping, so you'll be able to actually rent out your farmland to any user. There will be like a whole marketplace around NFT rentals as well. The company that we're working with, it's really cool tech, so we're excited about that. And then expect just us to keep chugging along with getting everything ready for Pixel. Essentially, now that Berry is going to be out, the team is like essentially fully dialed in on getting Pixel out and getting pets out, and there's no other distractions. So it's exciting stuff. We kind of dived in the last AMA on the tokenomics of Pixel. We'll release that white paper publicly quite soon as well. We're basically finishing out the last stages of it. With all this new information, I've been putting deck and material together, to get ready for the sale and all that as well. So the team has been putting a lot of work behind all of this. We feel like we have something really special with all the stuff that we've learned over the last 6 months of actually building, releasing a game, and talking to you guys, getting on the ground and analyzing data. So we feel like we're in a good spot. And yeah, we're really excited about what that next stage of growth is going to unlock. Oh, and then next update too, you're gonna see a new game. We're excited about that. I think we're committing to that release for that game as well. You're gonna hear something about it pretty soon. And we're really excited to be working with that partner and to see what that ecosystem can kind of bring as well. So there's going to be some hype around that. I can assure you that there's going to be some rewards, some really fun stuff with that. So yeah, expect some fun stuff around that. And yeah, it's going to set the next stage of like the Pixel token as well. Again, like we're doing these other games so we can kind of show guys or show other people, hey, this is what our tech stack can do. This is what the Pixel token is going to be able to unlock. And what we're really excited to start to explore as well is like showing people again what the gamified rewards can do and what the token incentives can do. So essentially, it's not just the game layer now. We experimented with the game layer with New Cyber, and New Cyber, I will say, going much better than expected. Their retention is insanely high. They're sitting at something like 60% day one retention and something like 20 to 30% I think they're at like D14 now, but it's very, very good essentially. So that means their player base is like very activated. It's very loyal, and yeah, props to them. So thesis there is looking pretty good. Now the next stage with this other project that we're working on is, we have a good game with them. We're very excited about the game. It's a fun game loop. Now we get to also experiment again with the token incentives for another project and see, hey, can we, give some of the same tooling that we gave out to our Pixels farmland game to another project and see how they can actually grow this game. I'm expecting a big traffic spike, and the rewards are going to be pretty exciting. So we'll see what goes on with that. But yeah, expect to release, 2 weeks to today on that kind of stuff. So then, yeah, that's kind of what we're up to, what we're working on, all of that. So maybe let's also just kind of give you guys some transparency into what's going on over the last week at Pixels 2, because we got some interesting news. And I just want to kind of give you guys some warnings and let you guys know like what exactly the team's been dealing with over the last week. So last week, a week ago today, actually, or I think yesterday or Thursday, we got a notice from our service provider saying, hey, we're going to shut down service in 2 days. So the servers that we were using, they might shut down at any time, essentially. The team's been working on self-hosting now. What's really good about this whole situation is the service framework that we're using, completely open source. And we've been working on like a self-hosting solution. But yeah, there might be a day or two of downtime, once this service provider goes out of business or their service shuts down before we're able to self-host our own deployment of pixels on our own servers. So long run, this is going to be very good because now we finally fully own our server deployments in every single aspect. And it was really nice to have a managed solution for a little bit, but obviously having a managed solution, you can run into some issues like this where the managed solution goes down, which, normally you would get more than 2 days notice for something like that. Kind of nuts. But if the managed solution goes down, you don't get in trouble. But here we are. So we're dealing with that situation. Teams have been working really hard to make sure everything's up, and we still got releases out, even with all of that going on. So I want to give props to the team, Tech Stack, and everybody helping us get our own self-hosted solution up. We might not have any downtime. There might be like a day or two of downtime. So just be aware of that. If we go down, we have something fun. We're going to incentivize you guys to go and touch grass, get outside in real life. So it won't be the worst thing. You guys could all use a little break anyways. But yeah, we'll have something fun if we do go down. We have something prepped and ready.
And we will give you guys warning for when we're doing server maintenance as best as we can.
Yeah, but pretty nuts. It's just like we get news like this now, and it's like, oh, it's just this week's thing. It's like a black swan event every single week in Web3. So like we're totally unfazed by this kind of stuff now. It's like, oh yeah, of course our servers are going to go down in 2 days without any warning. Yeah, okay, we'll deal with it. Props to the team for just being level-headed about it and getting stuff done. So we're working on it. A bit complex, but yeah, there might be a day or two of downtime while we do this.
Oh, someone's like, there's no grass to touch, only snow. I'm sorry, it's April. I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah,
Sounds like Canada somewhere.
that is going to make our plan a bit difficult for you. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but we're not going to go down, surely.
No.
But so yeah, I guess now we'll just dig into questions because I guess those are all the updates that we had. Team's chugging away. We're seeing good traction, good reception, everything. We're gonna have some fun stuff coming up with, incentives, with growth hacking, and yeah, overall, like generally the vibe and community's been feeling very fun lately. So I feel very, very thankful for all of you.
Okay, well, let's hop into some questions here. We've gotten a bunch of like kind of random fun questions. My favorite one was this one. Is that the Luke that throws you out of the sauna?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm obsessed with saunas, and being a founder of a game is fun because I get some sway over in-game stuff. And I was like, we need a sauna before we launch. Like, this is how we're gonna like have people generate energy. And I didn't think I would become the in-game villain with this idea. Here I am. People know me only because of in-game and because they're mad that I threw them out of the sauna.
Yeah, it's funny. Some people were suggesting that like you were the sauna and I was the VIP pool, and saying like Luke is mean and like stale and like Heidi, and I'm like, I have no association to the pool, guys. Okay, there's no Heidi NPC in game. So anyways, it was
Yeah, I'll even go in game sometimes and people will be like, are you that Luke in the sauna?
You. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's hop over to these questions. Sorry, that was loud. Can you mute? All right. Week 5 of asking when potatoes, and are potatoes a myth? I don't know.
Who knows?
Tyler doesn't tell me anything.
I will say we had a conversation about hot potatoes today in our road mapping.
So maybe they're not a myth. What are you saying, Luke?
I don't know. I cannot confirm or deny anything. They could be in game now. They could be.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so going to when you're talking about renting, someone asked, will we be able to rent industries?
That's something that we could support eventually. It could make sense to support those, higher priced NFTs in game, and they're 1155s or 721s, so they are rentable technically, with the same tech stack. We're going to start with the land to see how that goes and also give feedback. We're debating two different things right now. We're debating rental denominations in just ETH, or we're considering doing them just in Berry. I think it could be interesting to have it just in Berry. If you guys have any thoughts or feedback on that, like let us know. It could be an interesting gameplay loop where like a free player could technically come in and work their way up to being able to rent their own land, which is kind of cool. I like the idea or ethos of that.
Okay, I want to address this just because in Discord specifically, our community, there was a few people in our community yesterday that were a little upset about the candidates that came from the nomination process. So why did you blacklist Orc from mayoral elections? First of all, we did not blacklist anyone. The process was, and I'm sorry if I didn't make this like clear enough or we didn't, and maybe we'll do better next time, was we opened up the nominations. And before we even opened up nominations, we internally built this kind of algorithm that looked at tons of different variables. Discord messages, maybe they've done some cool things in the community, or how much gameplay, what levels are they at? Do they own land or do they not? We looked at tons of different things and we built out this algorithm that we thought would best like kind of represent the ideal Pixels representative. Okay. And then we were like, okay, we're going to choose the top 5 people that come from this. So we opened up nominations and then we took the top nominated people and their scores, how many times were they nominated, and that was a variable in the algorithm. And then we dove into their accounts and we took out all of the other information and we scored them, and the top 5 people from this algorithm, the scoring, were chosen to be candidates. Now, Orc had a lot of nominations. I'm not denying that. If I'm being totally honest, he actually came 6th. So he just barely missed it. But some other people just scored higher in other areas. So we tried to make this as fair as possible and totally unbiased. And I want to be, I'm very clear on that. This was totally unbiased. There's nothing against Orc. I really want to be clear on that because I think a few people were starting to think that way yesterday. So like I said, like we've explained before, the mayor will be in place for 4 weeks, 2 sprints, and then people can run again. So Orc is absolutely welcome. And I actually really hope he does run again next time, because maybe he'll get in the top 5 next time and then he can become the mayor of Terravilla. So I hope that's clear. And I'm really sorry that it did upset some people yesterday. And maybe we can be a little bit more clear about like how the process works. And the reasoning for doing this instead of just going purely off nominations is that people could really just bot the nomination system. And we didn't want like a random person to come in out of nowhere and get like 100 or 1,000 nominations and no one had ever heard of them. Like we wanted someone that would like really purely represent the Pixels community to be mayor, because that's how it should be, right? And I'm not saying Orc isn't that person. He's very active and does a lot of things in the community. And like I said, he came 6th. It's not like he was like 11th, right? So I just wanted to like fully address that situation, so that hopefully, next time we can either do better. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry that it upset some people.
Yeah. So this mayor thing is just supposed to be like a fun little thing to make you guys feel like, we have some input from the community. It's supposed to be like a new metagame mechanic. It's nothing that's like super serious, guys. So it's lighthearted. And yeah, it's just like a fun thing that we're supposed to be having. So I really appreciate how passionate you guys are about this. That's always great to see. If you guys are upset with anything that happens in the game, it's normally because you really care, and that's normally a very good thing. So again, we're noting, all the feedback, things like that. We'll be more transparent, and we want to make sure that people feel like, one, their voices are heard. That's the biggest thing about this. We want people to feel like they have a say over, how Pixels is run. Give people like more choices and more feel like ownership in, fun, silly little ways like this, and seeing if we can scale this in other ways as well too. So again, it's supposed to be lighthearted. It's supposed to just be like a fun little thing. Yeah. We're excited about it, and we're excited to see how like the actual election goes when we elect a mayor of Pixels.
I know I should go look at the. I want to go to look at the results already. Okay, all right. We've gotten tons of really like fun little questions about like in-game play, so I'm gonna pull up some of those ones because we can kind of whip through them here. Well, actually, hold on. These are about pets. So, how is the pets' content creation or content progression? Are they expected soon? And then someone did ask us to leak new pets.
Yeah, the pets are looking pretty good. We did leaks before. Do you guys remember that? We actually redesigned them, and I think they're much better now. We have them following you in game. They have like a bit of like utility in game right away as well. The idea is we kind of want this to be like a pretty important loop in pixels. We want to be tied with the pixel token and with the berry token. We think this is a really interesting way that we can kind of keep the longevity of the farmland game loop forever, basically. Where if pets need berries or like resources from the farmland game to be happy, and then these pets are also used in other game loops. Like if the pets follow you in New Cyber, but you still need all these pop berries to make the pet happier in this other game and stuff too. I think it's a pretty interesting way that we can make utility for berry and the pixel token as our ecosystem grows horizontally. So that's kind of the whole point of pets. And yeah, we want like a nice, good progression loop in there as well. So essentially how pets are going to work is one, we're starting with a pet happiness loop where you have to take care of it, you have to grow it, you have to make sure it stays happy and healthy. And then two, we want to do a pets mini game as well. So we're thinking about something like that. The team's really into the idea of racing. We're designing out the racing mechanic now. That's gonna be like a month, like that'll be months away, realistically. So like roadmap, you can kind of expect like the first iteration of pets is they follow you around the game. There's a bit of happiness loop. And then they have like some use in Pixels game as well. Like they'll be able to do some certain things. Then we're going to be working on a mini game loop for them as well.
Okay. This is a really good question. Will it be possible to earn a pixel token in game?
Yeah, it's the whole point of it. Yeah, so Pixel, again, we're thinking about it from two different lenses. We're thinking about like, one, how can we get you guys to spend Pixel? Because we think that's how we can actually make the token sustainable. We have to really be thinking about what's this token do? How is it useful? And how can we make people want it? And what's great is we have a lot of data from Barry of the things that you guys actually like, you get value out of, and what you want to spend Barry on. And we're going to start inserting Pixel into some of those areas. Then two, we think about, okay, now that we have a token that people want, how can we give it to people to help them, grow this ecosystem? So growing this ecosystem, it's two parts, right? It's one, people are playing the game every day. That's part of growth. Growth is two parts. It's retention and it's acquisition. So we need that retention factor there. And retention means how many people are coming back every single day into the game. And, the rewards of Pixel help you come back into the game every single day. So we do want people to be, getting this token by playing the game and doing certain tasks. Two, other things that are healthy for the ecosystem are you helping the ecosystem grow? Are you making content around Pixels? Are you posting on social media? Are you inviting friends? Those are things that help everybody. If we get more people into this ecosystem and also more people spending Pixel, it's kind of like a feedback loop. It's a flywheel. So that's what we're thinking about with that token. And we dove into that in the last ANA, but yeah, again, we're really excited about what it's going to do and how powerful this can be.
Okay. Jerome needs a new set of limited decorations. I don't disagree with you. It just unfortunately hasn't been a priority at the moment. But also, this is a good way to talk about UGC. Do you want to?
Yeah, I would say the bigger priority for us actually is rather than us making the decorations, having you guys make them. Because yeah, right. If you guys are just relying on us for content, things like this, might get overlooked. But if you guys are making the content, then yeah, more decorations are in the game. So what's really interesting about this too, though, is how our decoration builder is going to work is, it's going to cost a certain amount to make new decorations with our in-game tokens. Again, we're only going to be we're not charging like ETH or US dollars for these tools. We're going to charge Berry at first, but that's definitely something that's going to switch to Pixel when Pixel is live. We'll charge you Berry to make a decoration. then you'll be able to sell these decorations and you'll get the take, which is pretty interesting, right? So this also ties into the marketplace. Like people are going to be able to buy the decorations on the marketplace. You're gonna be able to list these decorations on the marketplace as well.
I love this. Looking forward to looking forward to learn using. I actually have no idea how to pronounce this thing, but Asprite.
Yeah, the pixel art tool.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't
So
familiar.
honestly, if you guys intend on making UGC content, we are going to be quite strict that it meets like a certain level of quality, at least at the beginning when we're first developing all this out. So go get learning pixel art because as someone that dabbles in it, it is very hard. So yeah, but there's also some really great AI tools if you look at like some software that converts regular PNGs to pixel art. So those are really great baseline. They're never perfect though. So then you always have to throw it in the software and get in and remove those like weird white outlines it always puts and that kind of stuff. But that's a good method to use as well.
Yeah, this is something that's really freaking cool with the like artificial intelligence stuff that's coming out. It's not quite there yet in quality, but we're gonna link you guys. We'll probably put links on the builders of these tools that kind of work, but just need like fine tuning. But yeah, there's really interesting pipelines you can make of using something like Midjourney to a pixel art renderer, and kind of works. Not quite, but kind of.
Okay. Is berry token used for pets as well, or is there a different utility for pets? If you're asking if there's like another token coming out for in-game with pets, no. But utility, Luke, do you want to talk about
Yeah,
that?
so I like the idea of pets taking both of the tokens, but for different things. So I like the idea of pets taking like the berry token or like ecosystem. When we say berry, like that also means like the resources generated, like pot berries or like anything that
Exactly.
requires energy, essentially. I like the idea of them having to need that for things like their own energy levels, for things like growing. And I like pixel for things like upgrades, for breeding, for like minting, things like that, essentially.
Hmm. Okay. Can you say anything about the new third game?
You're gonna see stuff about it pretty soon. So no.
Yeah, I think there are
What's
leaks out there.
Yeah, what's nice is like this team has their stuff together. There's like a whole marketing campaign that's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna be hopefully pretty organized.
Okay. Bots, guys. Can you say or will you okay, basically about botting. So we talk about this often, but we actually can't talk about like the nitty gritty details behind it because we can't tell the botters what we're looking at, or they'll stop doing that and pivot to something else. And it's like always playing catch up, right? So
Yeah.
we
So
actually banned like a significant number of bots recently.
we banned 75,000 bot accounts
Yeah,
this week
yeah.
that we've been tracking for a while, essentially. So, yeah, there are bots. If you look at most games in Web3, it's an unfortunate side effect of being in Web3. And that's why we're introducing VIP. And then, okay, this ties into a different question actually as well. So VIP and land ownership is something that we can actually do to, help ease this problem. We see botting as like, yeah, we can keep playing a game of whack-a-mole, right? Where we do all this bot detection, do a lot of bans, and that's working okay. But also, like, the better we get at detection, the better the bots get. It's just like a game of like catch up, basically. And with AI stuff coming out, honestly, bots are getting better and better. It's pretty hard to detect, a bot versus a real user. So then what we think about is more about, okay, how do we make spinning up thousands of accounts not economically worth it? We're still doing bot detection, but like that's why we really like VIP, um, because it's like Twitter Blue essentially, in a way um, where you like have to basically pay like a certain amount of money, and it becomes economically not viable to spin up thousands of accounts. Yeah, like a botter could spin up one account and pay for Pixel's VIP, but that's not nearly as much of an issue as somebody spinning up thousands of accounts. So then what's really interesting is with berry rewards, or not berry rewards, but like any rewards that we introduce into the ecosystem, we can also give out more rewards for users who we think are more real users, VIP holders, and landowners, essentially. There's only so many lands. Not all these bots can hold land. It's a pretty good deterrent for spinning up thousands of accounts. It'll be pretty easy to detect if they're moving a land. It costs gas to do that as well. You can even put a sleeper on land where it takes like a couple days of getting a new land before you can earn these rewards, things like that. And the VIP, again, it's like an economic barrier as well, where we can actually offer like additional earn opportunities to the segment of landowners and VIP owners as well. So when we're thinking about pixel distribution, we are thinking about three categories of users. We're thinking about landowners, we're thinking about VIP owners, and we're thinking about free users, users without any of that. And the rewards will be different for each of these user bases. And we'll actually set aside allocations of rewards for each of these user bases. So for example, we'll probably set aside like 20% for this category, 40% for this category, 40% for this category.
Okay. Yeah, and some people are just talking in the chat about like a couple real players. We're also, yeah, here you go. When you banned, like do a mass bot ban, you hit a bunch of real players. So we're really sorry that when this happens, and it does happen often when we do, like when we ban 75,000 accounts, it's bound to accidentally hit a few real players because sometimes we're looking at things and real players, for some weird reason, mimic something that the bot is doing, and then they get included in the ban.
Yeah, or there's like straight up, there's like tiny edge cases where like, oh, we actually dropped like a piece of data on our own end, so it is our fault some of the times as well. And this is why, like this game of whack-a-mole, we want to get out of it. We want to think about other ways that we can reward players and like kind of remove the incentives to bot as much. So
Exactly.
again,
it's all about like game design against botting. Like, don't make it worth people's time to bot due to game design, right? So that's like where we're kind of headed, especially with like VIP and everything that we've just talked about. Okay. Back to questions over here. Dig snow, touch dirt. I mean, if you want, it works. Okay.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about this a bit. So here's our UGC, like our user-generated content tooling, like roadmap essentially. So we're starting off with decorations. The next thing that we're doing after that is tile sets and like world building essentially. So we're actually going to allow you guys to upload your own tile sets and like put those into the ecosystem. And then we're also going to give you guys access to like a map builder like we had before as well if you make your own realm. So we're pretty excited about that. Stages of our like tooling is essentially like stage 1, items and objects, stage 2, worlds, stage 3, game mechanics and game loops that you guys can build out.
Yeah, and I know this person specifically is talking about those like colorful squares. And so I just want to take this opportunity to shout out the decoration contest winners. So this round of the decoration contest, we actually looked at people that had created, or farms that had like designs, like illustrations out of primarily these colorful tiles that you can purchase in the post office. And wow, we have some talented people in here. We were blown away by the submissions. So yeah, you can see them. I posted the farms in minor announcements yesterday, and then I think we tweeted it this morning. But also, if you just go to the MOI, they're in the featured, so you can like click through and you can go use the apiaries that are on their farm for 1 week. Okay. Do landowners? Or wait, we talked about this one already, right?
Where? Oh yeah, we did talk about this. Yeah. So again, with the pixel token, like there will be a specific. You're gonna see how we do the rewards. It's really cool. The team's building this like scalable rewards dashboard right now. So we're gonna be able to reward any token with this rewards dashboard that we're creating. Obviously, we get to give Pixel and Barry, but then this rewards dashboard will also work with Cyber. It'll work with things like Ape. It'll work with like all of these other, any ERC20 basically. So what's really interesting is, we can also segment it by if you fit certain qualities. So we can give out rewards to people who own land, who have VIP, who have other NFTs. Like that's kind of the way that we're building out this rewards dashboard. We really like this loop of, one, like being able to empower people building in our ecosystem to give their own rewards. Two, like segmenting rewards by better players or user, like different types of users essentially. Again, like it's so much easier to build out a good ecosystem if we're giving rewards to real users and not to bots. And owning land or having VIP is our best signal right now. And again, we gave VIP to people who completed certain tasks for free. Like there's other signals that we have too. So again, like we don't want to, um, not give rewards to people who don't have VIP. Like there are going to be plenty of good users who don't have VIP too. So it's like we don't want to just token gate the rewards behind these several things, but also it's like more likely that these players who are engaging with VIP or who own land are also like better ecosystem players too. So yeah, it's a mix of all that, and we're gonna experiment a bit with like the distribution rewards. But the idea is we want to segment it and then give out rewards to people who help make pixels better.
Okay, so someone just asked a question in Discord, and I thought I'd address it. They were asking about the Easter quest and how many eggs there are. And a few people yesterday were asking, like, how do I finish the quest? I thought I collected all of the eggs and gave them to Stephen or Todd. So this quest is actually a little bit different in that it doesn't really end. It will close if you've participated. The quest will close at the end of the next sprint. So when the quest is taken down, because it is a limited time for the Easter holiday quest, when it's taken down with our next release in roughly 2 weeks, then it will close. So you can basically just like continue to play it throughout the next 2 weeks. And egg wise, I have no idea how many eggs are replaced. People kept asking me, Tyler doesn't tell me these things. And so there were just tons all over the place. And more will be dropping throughout the next 2 weeks as well. So that's why it's kind of just like, it just keeps going. Just have fun with it. If you see new eggs, go collect them, go do your thing. And then you can earn berry from it. So, all right. It's loud. Just hit the moon button.
Yeah, I'll just turn off iMessage.
Okay, let's see here. When golden potberry. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That was such a good video.
Yeah. So one of our best players, we love him, but he made a video about this new update that we're gonna release called Golden Potberries. That was a lie. We never.
A joke, and it was so good. I think
we had no affiliation with that. We didn't tell him to do that. We didn't give him any alpha. He just lied to all of you.
I loved it. That was great. Yeah, wonderful. So, and I really wanted to do something for April Fool's Day, and we didn't get there. We're literally at capacity as is, so we didn't get a chance to do anything like that. So I was really happy when that came out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Are you sleeping? No, actually, yes, I am. I'm asleep about 6 hours a night. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, this was a suggestion about bot accounts. So this is actually a big thing. So bot detection or bot prevention. It's funny. There's Web3 bot prevention out there, right? But any solution I've seen is basically just saying if the wallet's new, don't let them join. Which is pretty terrible for onboarding. So there's like this fine line between letting people play the game and letting onboarding be easy and seamless. So again, our preference is to actually think about bots more from an economics perspective rather than like stopping people if they have a new wallet. Because if we want to onboard more people in the Web3, you cannot stop that. We want the sign up process to be easy and seamless in like just a couple of clicks. So we have made or lean more towards that. And then, that's why we focus on retroactive bot detection rather than right away too. But then also some of these things just don't work as well. Like it's not that hard for some of these accounts, especially if we're on, Polygon or Matic, rather than ETH to move Polygon between accounts. We've seen some crazy stuff with some of the bots as well, say, and they're more advanced than people would think.
Yeah. And this also leads me to a point. A few days ago, I had a conversation with someone in Discord, and they were saying, oh, does my land have to be in the same wallet that I use for gameplay? And yes, we did just integrate something that will make that process a little bit simpler. But just basically speaking, yeah, it should be in the same wallet so you can play. And he was saying like, oh, but I sometimes do degen mints, and I was like, okay, well, don't do that on this wallet. And they were like, but this is my hot wallet. And I was like, well, so what I tell people, please, because hearing you guys get scammed is the worst feeling ever. So please just have a Pixels wallet with everything in it that you use for the Pixels game, and then go do degen mints on some other random wallet, because please, I hate hearing when you guys get hacked. But yeah, that's, and then
Yeah, so then
cash stuff you can talk about again if you want.
Delegate Cash does help this a bit too. You can keep your assets on a cold wallet now if you want, and then delegate to a hot wallet. So that does help. It's a bit hard to set up at first, but once you get it, it's good.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Is there a way to sneak past the staircase in the plot building? So I actually hinted at what that staircase is in the release notes. So if you go look at those, you'll have like a little bit more of an idea about what that staircase is all about.
Who reads release notes, Heidi? Come on.
Actually, a lot of people do. We have like our most read article by like thousands.
Right. People really complain when we don't have them on time.
No. They've been on time for months now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on it now. But yeah, go look there and you'll get a little insight into maybe what it possibly will lead to. Okay. Let's see here.
Okay, Golden Rake. That was not for the top 10,000 people. That was for the top 100 people. What's really cool is we keep doing this a bit, right? So we did OG, we did like Solid Portal, we did top 100, and the Play the Mint, which was forever ago. And yeah, we only gave out 100. I think there actually are technically 101 Golden Rakes in the game. If anybody has it in the chat, let me know what the last price the Golden Rakes sold for. I'm very interested. I've been like trying to dig into, okay, what's like the going rate for, you know, an OG glow stick, a Sauna portal, things like that. It's pretty cool. Like normally most of the things are hundreds of dollars, which is interesting what they're going for in the secondary markets. Yeah, there's 101 Golden Rakes in the game. I think there's something like 70 OG glow sticks. There's 200 sauna portals. There's like 60 something apiaries right now. We really like the idea of all that stuff. Somebody just sold a rake for 1,500.
Oh my goodness.
Is that true? Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, hot commodity. Wild. Okay. Will I be able to buy merch? All I'm gonna say is possibly something might be in the works.
Potentially. Yeah, give us some feedback on a good price point for it too. We might run like a few different things eventually. I think the first thing is going to be, if it was in the works, there was something potentially in the works. Like we want it to be nice quality if there's ever a merch drop. So it won't be like super cheap, but it'll be really nice. And it's not something, if we were ever to do a merch drop, that we would want to be making money off of. Like we are just essentially going to sell them at cost if we were ever going to do a merch drop. We just think it's like a fun thing, essentially. And you know, my take here is if you were to buy a hoodie from us, you'll never sell your land. So we don't need to make money off the hoodies.
Yeah, if we do sell a hoodie, we're not going to make a penny. We might break even, if not maybe even lose a couple dollars on it. But we think that it is important for community building, and people have been asking for it because, of course, it's so much fun to wear merch when you're part of a community and everything like that. So yeah, it's been tough. It's been IRL things are hard. Okay. They take a long time, a lot of processing, a lot of testing and all of that. It's not just pixel art. So yeah, that's all we're going to say. That's all we'll say for now.
Yeah. Okay. I think one thing, I cannot wait to make sure these show up on chain better for you guys, like the apiaries and like all that kind of stuff. They technically are 1155s. So there should be because this is an 1155, actually, that means technically unlimited supply. This is the kind of stuff where we actually probably want to switch this from an 1155 to an ERC 721 and start to just like pre-mint this stuff, so all of this economics is really transparent. I will say we have no plans to introduce more apiaries. I think it might be nice for the team to have like 5 more that we could give away, but I think we said like we're thinking about like 100 max. Honestly, I'm literally thinking like 5 more max for apiaries, and then doing all of that. So we like transparency around this kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff where actually Web3 is really interesting, because then you can see on chain and we can't change data like this. So we're going to look into moving this over from an 1155 to a 721 when we turn back on some of this stuff. And I think this is a great use case of a 721.
Yeah, and also there are obviously, I feel like you're talking from like an ownership standpoint, but I'm going to swap over to the user. So we run these decoration contests. I feel like we probably do like one a month at this rate. Just pay attention to Discord, and then whoever wins the decoration contest actually gets another apiary on their land for a week. And I actually got some feedback from people like, why would I bother doing that? I'll lose my bee. But it actually works in the same way as if an owner of the land moved any industry. So if you've used the bee a lot, it will die on removal. If you haven't used it a lot, which you probably won't within a week unless you're like round the clock going hard, you'll get the bee back. So personally, as someone trying to build a mine that is taking me months, I always take advantage of the decoration contest winners apiaries, and they might not always be apiaries forever, but right now they are. So go do that.
So mobile and web is a big priority for the team. And after we get Pixel facilitated, I think I'm going to push the team to get this like wrapped up pretty quickly. If you guys have noticed, people have hacked together mobile in browser already in certain circumstances, and it's not that far away from us being able to release that. And we know this is like a huge piece missing from our growth. Like, people find the game on Twitter and they click on a link and they can't open it on mobile. Like, that's a huge drop off. So we know that, and we want mobile really bad as well, just from like an analytics perspective of like, okay, how do we grow pixels as much as possible? We need mobile eventually, and not even eventually, like honestly, the sooner the better. So we're really thinking about how we can get it working on mobile ASAP. We're probably going to focus on pixels and pets first when we're thinking about like where the team can put in their time and energy, and then I'm going to push for mobile web shortly after, but there's not too much we need to do. There's just like a few certain menus we need to make more responsive, be able to make them look good on, a smaller screen. We might force things like landscape on mobile instead of, portrait mode. And then like an actual native mobile app, I still feel pretty iffy on that in terms of all the stuff around blockchain. The, things I'm hearing are like having a token natively integrated into a game makes Apple like a bit, they throw up red flags and stuff like that. But what we do like the idea of, if we can't get like native mobile with Apple regulations, is eventually like sideloaders might become, allowed. Epic Game Store will probably allow them, if they're able to sideload onto iPhones and other things like that. And then two, we like the idea of a companion app. So we can make a separate app if we have something like pets, where you can help take care of your pet in this companion app, and it ties into pixels, but it's not like the core game with the pixels. So we're thinking about stuff like that too.
That'd be really fun. This made me laugh. Imagine just like a t-shirt with just an iron bar on the front of it. Like, that's it. There's
I would
nothing
wear that, honestly.
Oh my gosh. That is funny. All right. Real life merch with I clicked the wrong one. Shoot. Real life merch with in-game NFT. I'm not always the biggest fan of these. I think if they're done right, it can work. I think with our existing NFT art, it would not look great. But maybe something in the future, like maybe that's something we can do with pets. Like, you can get your pet. Oh my God. Okay, we've got ideas. We've got ideas.
I want to click this one. This is nuts to me.
Yeah. Especially because it's not even the rarest item in game. Like, technically the Easter statue is. Now, I do know the golden rake does have utility behind it, and the statue just kind of like looks creepy and cool. But yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah, how many Easter Bunny statues are there in the game? Like,
I don't remember. I think there were like 5 or 6 or something like that. I think that's I think it was like,
Remember an old employee duped one at one point, and we caught him.
yeah. Oh my goodness. That's actually so fun to look back at. So this time last year, we kind of hacked in an Easter egg hunt quest. You had to, what was it? Take pictures of you standing next to the Easter eggs that we placed in game and then upload them to a form that we kind of hacked into the game. Like, and it was so much fun. And it was our first like real quest that we'd done in months. And people just went nuts. And it's just wild to think that was a year ago.
Yeah, that is actually
Wow.
insane. So yeah, I mean, the game looked so different a year ago. We're a game now, which is nice. But yeah, no, props to all you guys.
Mhm.
Again, we're super excited about the next steps. We want to get this out ASAP and move on to the next stages as well.
Yeah.
So it's a busy time here at Pixels. Where I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping now. Last year I wasn't. Now I learned, you can only not sleep for so long before you you go
Yeah.
nuts. But yeah, no, the team feels pretty good, healthy, at least to me. And yeah, we're really excited for the next stage. It's going to be a busy couple of months.
Mhm. Okay. We're just wrapping up soon here. If you have any last minute questions, throw them in. Luke, are there any that you wanted to address?
I think we went over everything.
Yeah. This has been really fun, Amy. I love when it's kind of just like lighthearted and we're just talking about like fun game loops and stuff like that. It's always just fun to hang out with you guys and just chat about gaming. Yeah, because we talk about this a lot, but like we are truly a gaming studio first and foremost. Obviously, we're using like revolutionary technology and all of this kind of stuff, but at its core, it's a game, which is really, it's fun. Um, so it's always just really fun to when spiders turning up adults. Okay, I think they mean like when do the spiders become slugs? So there's nothing, there's no utility for spiders yet. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Or any utility we've told you officially.
Oh shoot.
All right. Well, yeah, I think we can wrap it up here, guys. But yeah, no, it's been a fun week. We'll keep you guys updated on if there's any server outages. We really hope not. But yeah, the team's working really hard to make sure that we don't have any. And then new servers, Barry withdrawal deposit, all that stuff. We're moving.
Yep, we're moving. Okay, well, thank you all for hanging out with us today and having a really fun AMA. We will see you next week. If we missed any of your questions, just throw them in one of the general chats. Tag one of us, tag the community team, Farm Hands, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Bye, guys.